What's up, channel? This video is gonna be this channel is gonna comment upon the irony of this channel existing in the first place. But even in the face of even in the face of even in the face of resistance or whatever, even in the face of adversity, we persevere, because the thing about social media and entertainment in the USA today is that it's completely controlled by the CIA, right? It's ruined. So that's why, your entertainment, anything, is just not human, not natural, not even enjoyable. There's a real decline in how enjoyable it is, and really the most entertaining thing you could face in America today is propaganda, right? This is sort of a Stalinist technique where, like, you keep out foreign influence because it's too entertaining, it's too fun. And the thing about entertainment and fun is that what makes entertainment entertaining is the truth you find in it, right? Like, for instance, I think the best TV show would be like Monty Python or The In-Betweeners or Peep Show, right? And then even in America, we had some really good TV shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But today, TV shows like that, or like, the first season of that TV show Community, first and maybe some of the second season before the writing got really cheap and lazy. But at least, these shows were entertaining. But now entertainment's like illegal. And then if you're talking about the CIA or the JFK assassination, obviously being CIA with the Schlesinger memos or Vault 7, no one even knows what Vault 7 is. No one even knows about Julian Assange, right? People are like, oh, free Julian Assange. And they're like, we freed him, but he got lobotomized. So he basically got murdered, and then they're like, look, we freed him. We didn't torture him for 5 years and lobotomize him until he... And, the journalist who checked up on him, like, I guess we do have an element of journalism, but not, as a part of the system, but simply sort of like a control, like an illusion, because, they're like, oh, he couldn't remember his name. He got lobotomized, he got 1984, like, what happened to the guy at 1984? It's like 2 + 2 = 5, right? That's what they did to Julian Assange. They basically murdered him. But, I guess maybe his family could hang out with this lobotomized guy, and they're like, oh, Assange, remember we used to do this stuff? And he's like, no, I don't remember that. And they're like, oh, his personality's different, but, we're just happy to have him back. And this just ties into that censorship mechanism where, like, you're given an illusion that you're being offered something that, like, you're being offered a human right, but you're really not. Like, it's actually worse than America today is just a lot worse than China. It's just a worse version of China, because in China, they at least know what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do, and, like, it seems like they have freedom. And I think a good example of that was TikTok, where the algorithm actually showed human content. Like, even my own experiences with TikTok is like, on YouTube, Instagram, I get like 10 views, right? Because I'm talking about controversial stuff. But then on TikTok, my videos would get like 1 million views, 10 million views, like 100,000 comments. And I got banned from TikTok. But I'd rather reach people and get banned for breaking the rules than shadow banned, which is given the illusion that you're not banned, but in reality you reach 0 people, and maybe you get 1 AI comment or just like CIA activity. Right? Like, in China you get sent to a re-education camp, but you at least reach people and make a ruckus, and they're like, oh, we sent him to re-education. But in America, you just get put on a list and then shadow banned. And it's way worse because the way this propaganda machine, YouTube, it's just everything. Rumble, YouTube, it's all garbage. And even TikTok got seized by the USA like a year ago, TikTok was actually legit. Like it was Chinese algorithm. It was like Chinese people were showing the Americans the truth, right, of how evil this country is. And now America owns TikTok. So the TikTok days are over. There's no point in using TikTok anymore. It's just like using YouTube or Instagram. But the thing with ultimate corruption is like the West and I mean, I wouldn't say the West is really the problem. Western cultures, it's a little bit of a problem because it allows really bad exploitation due to its very schizophrenic nature, right? But originally, it used to basically just be Christian. And if you have a Christian society, it's like monogamous. There's laws that make sense. And currently, the only monogamous sort of cultures are like Muslim. Maybe there's some Christian monogamy in like some country like Armenia or Georgia, right? Maybe Greece is somewhat monogamous, but if you get the Christian Muslim mix, it's not too bad. But then USA is the worst place in the world because we have basically like divisions in every quarter. We have, and the way it is like some of them are so evil, but you can't criticize them because they're like a protected class. Like, I guess a good example would be, I can't even talk about them. That's another problem with YouTube. Like, the soft censorship stuff is like people are trained to not be allowed to talk about things which would get them demonetized, or like, for instance, then it gives YouTube an excuse like, look, your video got 0 views because you said like a swear word or like you criticized a protected group. But I'm not talking about Yiddish people. Like Yiddish people, that's an ethnicity. There's nothing wrong with being an ethnicity, right? And they're the highest IQ ethnicity, so. But there's a problem with certain protected groups, like, for instance, BLM, right? The riots. Or like Muslims do terrorism, like 9/11. Like, I think you'll get banned off the internet for just saying they do that. But it's just a simple fact that their leader, who's, it's obviously a mind control racket, but it works, like their leader calls out fatwas on people they don't like, and then people are willing to sacrifice themselves, kind of like what happened to Trotsky with Stalin, right? Stalin had so much power, he could, so much cult of personality, it's called, which is, what religious groups excel at, because people could do the most insane stuff if they are working for a schizophrenic, non-logical organization like a religion. And in that regard, I'd say, I don't even think I could say the name of the religion, but I'll see if I can. Satanism, right? That's the ultimate religion in that it's just pure evil. You could get people to do the most anti-logical stuff with that. And I watched a video about it. It's very scary, but the thing about it in America is like it's a protected class. You can openly practice it. But in reality, all these people need to be locked away. And this is this kind of situation we have in America of like freedom of religion is like, in the first place, that law was created by Christians who believed in the good of humanity, and they thought, if we have freedom of religion, everyone's going to become Christian. But they were wrong, right? But actually Mao Zedong, and obviously I'm going to get 0 views, because if you speak positively about Mao, you're like just censored in America. Like the Western propaganda is like probably the worst of all time. It's the worst mind control racket. Began in 1953 with the CIA, who killed JFK, took over the world, and then put this horrible mind control apparatus over it, which has been really kicking into gear in the past 20 years. It seems like the world's become very bipolar. But thank 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 Marx for China, right? And this is a 10-minute video of a rambling, but you know, you're not going to get any good content. You're just going to be fed propaganda, Skinner boxes, looking at Skinner boxes, which is basically what the world's become. Everyone's put into a Skinner box and become a Manchurian candidate or an MK Ultra mind-controlled asset for the CIA. But you know, our only hope is just China building factories and then overtaking the USA, and hopefully people get wise to the CIA and the words of JFK, where you know his major vision for America was like free and open society with no secret organizations with power. And his ultimate goal, JFK's ultimate goal, according to the Schlesinger memos, who was his top guy, right, his assistant, was get rid of the CIA. But instead they killed JFK and the CIA became more powerful than ever. And now it's like, at this point, not only have they owned the world for so long, they have manipulated it in insane ways simply to exercise their power and realize, oh, we control the world, we are God, right? But luckily China's putting them in their place.